way too many things that complicate what we're doing. So one of the important things, obviously, is to make sure that you're stretching out, right? Um, Muscles that get tight, they don't fire properly in sequence, and you're more susceptible to injury because you get that tight muscle pulling on a tendon, and that tight tendon's usually pulling on a bone, and tight equals sore. So, doing some static stretches is okay, but what you'll see as I grab this Saber is I set my body kind of into this rotation. So Gary Player said that he does this a lot to kind of stretch out. So he kind of sets his body in motion this way, and then he works it further and further. So you can see the range that I'm able to create in that rotation. So what you'll find is range equals distance, right? And then when you have distance, you can actually have range with a smooth tempo because you have all this power, right? It's like having a big, powerful motor in your car. It's there for the use, but you don't floor it every single time. But when you need to, you've got that power there. So if you've created that range, right, that's giving you substance to your swing. So once you have range, that's going to help all parts of your swing. So what I do with the Saber is I start out, put it across my shoulders, just kind of stretch out just like this. Then I'll kind of get into a golf stance, and I'll continue to spin. I call it the golf swing a golf spin, right? Because a swing is more side to side, right? Like you push a kid on a swing, you don't hit a golf ball swinging sideways. The swing isn't produced on a straight line. The swing is round and around. So the way I look at it is the center of your body is like the center of the motor. So you create the motor that spins first. So what I do here with the Saber is I take it, put it across my shoulders, create this spinning motion. As I create the spinning motion, I can really feel it, my lower back, my hips. We just drove up from Phoenix, so, that right foot on the gas pedal, all that's tight, hamstrings are tight. Down here across my shin bone is tight, everything's tight. And the reason why I know it's tight is because as I swing, right, as I start making this spinning motion, what's happening is I can feel that getting less sore, right? So as I'm doing this right now, I can feel just about right here, my lower back is still a little bit tight. So I don't stop. Like, why would I want to go ahead and hit a ball until I'm relatively pain-free, right? Doesn't do me any good because all that's going to do is focus that trauma and that tension right on that spot that's already sore. So as I increase the speed, what you'll see is I'm trying to keep the stability right between my feet. Again, it doesn't do me any good to kind of rock and roll and move back and forth like this. It's always better to keep that rotation. So as you're making your swing, the next thing you do with the Saber is you look for the heavy end. So as you take the heavy end, then you just start swinging it, right? I like to teach my students to keep their heads still and their feet still, and this way it creates that good range of motion. So I'm going to blow your mind here for a little bit. You guys in back there, if you want to come and sit over here on the stool, you can. But this is what this looks like. So keep your eye on me. As I swing, watch this. I'm a right-handed golfer, right? My right hand is down at the bottom. So as I get going, here's my swing, right-handed. Now see if you can see what I just did. So now I'm actually a left-handed golfer, right? Kind of blows your mind a little bit. If you get this left-handed swing going, and then as you swing, I just switch my hands. Now I'm back to a right-handed golfer. So what happens is with most golfers, when they swing, they have a right-handed backswing, and then they follow through up here. Well, what kind of a crappy-looking left-handed golf swing would it look like if I was up here on the backswing and then finish low and around over here? Would that look like Bubba Watson trying to hit a snap hook or something, right? So our bodies are designed to move athletically and also very symmetrically, right? So as I swing, I'll point out a couple of things. So this is still the heavy end. I'm still loosening up at this point. So I go left shoulder, right shoulder. So right underneath my chin. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Now I can change and do a different body part. Right hip, back, left hip, back. Right hip, left hip, right hip, right? Left knee, right knee. Left knee, right knee. So you see it's very, very symmetrical. And it wouldn't matter if I was swinging left-handed. I could still say right shoulder, left shoulder, right? So now I've just swung the heavy end of the saber a lot of times. So now not any part of my body's hurting anymore. I was stiff in the lower back. I got a little bit of a wrist issue that I've dealt with over the years. My neck gets a little tight. After doing all that, now I'm loose. Nothing's tight. So then I take it and I flip it over and I hold the light end. So now as you can hear the ball clicking inside the saber, what this is going to do is now it's going to help me with speed and tempo. So what I do is I take my backswing and stop. Now that I'm back here, I can create speed with my lower half first and then crack it through. And you can hear that ball snap down. So centrifugal force is what's moving that ball. Well, that's energy. That's the physics of it, right? So you see those circus guys that have those big hammers, and there's 6 of them around one peg, and they're going boom, 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 right? If they're putting up a massive circus tent, they got to nail in 20 of those things. You better believe they're going to figure out how to do it efficiently. And it's more about timing than it is brute strength of swinging that hammer. So in golf, what you have to do is you have to time the club head. So this is where the saber comes in very handy. You set it and release it, and that helps you with your timing, right? So I've just gone through a couple of simple things. Spinning first, then heavy, then light. Now what I'm